Great to be here at the CTIA conference. Thank you for having me. Many people here in the audience, for sure in the green room, has been part of the 5G journey pretty much from day one. We were part of the people that shared the vision and shared the story in 5G. I can tell you that me personally, I had the privilege of being part of the launch of 5G at AT&T at the end of 2018, and I know where the technology was back then and where we are today. And I can tell you that I believe that we're finally at the stage that we can actually realize the promise and the vision of 5G. Some of you may not know that, but recently AT&T celebrated its 147th birthday. Not too many companies can declare that they have such a rich history and heritage. In fact, only 0.5 of the global company will exist more than 100 years. And if you look at the common thread between all of those companies, it's typically surrounding around invention, reinvention, innovation, agility, and the willingness to serve customer first. Since the first call in 1876, AT&T is connecting people to greater possibilities. However, the way people are communicating is now completely changed, and we are now at the 5G era. Fast forward into 2023, we are at the 5G era. A time where we have nationwide 5G networks. Operators are investing billions of dollars in 5G and in fiber. A time where mid-band spectrum became available, and we are deploying it. A time where standalone mobility cores are being built and deployed. A time where operators and cloud providers are building edge nodes to allow low latency services. A time where, at large, the majority of the customer have a 5G device. And a time that finally, operator can expose capabilities and insights from the network through APIs. And if you bring all of this together, we now have in our hand an incredible platform for innovation. One that can help us close the digital divide and bring healthcare and education to every corner in the US. One that is creating millions of jobs, and one that's going to unleash the next wave of innovation in mobile economy. On the other side, we are all witnessing the growing demand for connectivity. I can just tell you some data from the AT&T network. Over the last decade, we have seen 32% CAGR on mobile device subscribers usage. At the same time, we've seen 40% on our wireline network. I don't know if you checked it or not, but in average, there's 15 connected devices in a household. We predict that's going to be 3 times the number at the end of 2025. Already today, we're seeing 600 petabytes of traffic traversing our IP network every single day. 600 petabytes. That is equivalent to 6 million and more 4K movies. So in order to address that, AT&T has invested between 18 to 22, $140 billion, whether it's building network or acquiring spectrum and deploying it or operating that network. And that investment is helping us or supporting our mission of becoming the best broadband company in North America. And we're doing this by building 2 scale platforms, a 5G wireless network and a multi-gig fiber network. They're often talked separately, not for us. Customers want high-speed broadband. Doesn't matter if it's over a wireless network or a fixed network. In fact, we have an integrated fiber planning capabilities that allows us to design and build fiber routes that serve 3 distinct use cases: mobile backhauling, consumer broadband, and enterprise services. That is allowing us, in fact, to offer our customer true converged product, not just converged offers. AT&T is already the largest fiber internet provider in the US. We're already covering 24 million living units, and we are on our way to cover 30 million units at the end of 2025. In order to serve the data traffic that I mentioned in household, we believe that a symmetrical multi-gig speed fiber network is the right solution. However, at the same time, we have developed 5G fixed wireless product in order for us to serve our DSL customers and move away from copper services, in order for us to serve business customers, and in order for us to serve customers if this is what they want or if they are outside of our footprint. We are not only building into major cities. In fact, we want to bring broadband to every corner in North America. Closing the digital divide is part of our purpose. AT&T invested $2 billion in various initiatives between 21 to 23 in closing the digital divide. We are already the largest wireless network in the US, covering more than 2.9 million square feet. However, we know that there is no way that for a terrestrial network to cover every square inch in North America. Just 3 weeks ago, we've made the first data call, satellite to mobile device, yet another first for AT&T. And that was a remarkable history. And we've done it with a company called AST Space Mobile that we think has the most advanced technology at this point for that satellite to mobile capabilities using our spectrum. A couple of months ago, we've announced that we are covering with wireless the Cherokee Nation citizens in Kenwood, Oklahoma, a community of 1,000 people that didn't have wireless coverage. In fact, they had to drive 10 miles in order to get wireless coverage. They are now connected to greater possibilities. And not only this, same network now allows first responder over our FirstNet network to provide first responding services for that community. A bit about our progress on 5G. Our nationwide 5G network is up since the summer of 2020. We are today covering more than 200 million POPs in over 22,000 cities in America. When it comes to our millimeter wave deployment, we are covering part of 50 cities and close to 70 venues. We're typically deploying millimeter wave in area where we think it matters to our customers, where they can enjoy high speed. We're seeing in some of the venues and certain events that a high percentage of the consumption into that venue is riding over millimeter wave while people are enjoying very high speeds. Mid-band spectrum became available. We participated in an auction both in C-band and the 3.45, and we heads down deploying it, already covering 160 million POPs in North America. We already have 17 devices that support the 3.45 spectrum. All of our 5G customers are served today on a non-standalone core that is running on a software-based, virtualized, highly distributed cloud. We're continuing to deploy our standalone 5G core and moving customers and some of the use cases into that standalone core. We cannot talk about 5G without talking about low latency services. And the way to achieve that, it's not just by improving the radio interface, it's about converging cloud and networking. And this is what we've done in 12 metro cities in the US, where we brought our network into the regional cloud nodes of some of the large cloud providers in the US. So not bringing them into our facilities any longer, we're reaching to them, and through that, we're already covering 65% of the population with low latency. And the thing that I'm personally very excited about is our initiatives around network APIs. I think we have a possibility now with capabilities like low latency and slicing and insight coming out of the NARC, and in fact, part of the architecture, APIs part of the architecture and the standards really allow us to expose insight and capabilities and really participate in the value creation of 5G in the next wave of innovation. We've made remarkable progress on our journey for 5G. In fact, This is the fastest growing wireless network in the history. There's already 1 billion connection around the world with over 220 operators already launched 5G globally. In the US, we're already covering 320 million collectively Americans with 5G. Close to 55% of American has availability of 5G. That is the highest rate in the world. We deployed this 40% faster than we deployed LTE. On our network, we are already seeing that a 5G monthly consumption of a user is twice the rate of what we've seen in LTE. We're seeing the spectral efficiency, the promise of spectral efficiency where we're deploying mid-band to be at the rate that we've expected. Wherever we're deploying mid-band, we're seeing 30% growth in data consumption. So the promise is getting realized. And we're now seeing the emergence of continuing use cases, whether it's in healthcare or manufacturing or in transportation. Connected car is something that we at AT&T heavily involved, and almost every car in the US is connected by AT&T, and we think that with the evolution from connected car and electric car and over time to autonomous car, that has the potential to become one of the next mobile platform. Just imagine the possibility of offering different class of services for different usage inside of the car, whether it's voice services or entertainment services or how you operate the vehicle. So the potential is immense. Now, we all collectively have a role of continuing and securing the US leadership when it comes to wireless networks. And when I talk about leadership, I not necessarily talk about how many baseband are deployed or how many radios are deploying. I'm actually talking about the life cycle of innovation. And if you think about the assets that we have in the US, we have great assets. We have operators that are investing billions of dollars in building 5G networks. We have cloud providers that are so important for realizing edge and low latency services, some of the leading cloud providers globally. And we have an innovation cycle. The whole mobile economy was invented in the US, whether it's in Silicon Valley and other parts of the country. There is no reason why this is not going to repeat itself when it comes to 5G. However, the things that we all need to pay attention to, and I think Ann mentioned this, is the scarce resource that we have as an industry, which is spectrum. I think that we've made tremendous progress over the last several years with having more mid-band available, but we're going to all need additional full power licensed spectrum so we can continue and build high-performing, secure, and open networks. The US is already behind some of the other global countries when it comes to licensed mid-band spectrum. And if you look at the pipeline moving forward, you see that that gap is growing towards 2027 and toward 2032. And at the same time, some early predictions, knowing some of the immersive experiences that are coming, we know that the average consumption of a user will grow from 17, 18 gig per month to 55 in 2027. So in order for us to keep up with the demand, we need full power, licensed, mid-band spectrum so we can continue and invest and build those high-performing, secure networks. Just to summarize, I'm very excited to be part of this industry. I think we've made a tremendous progress. The issues that I've discussed, these are not 6G problems. These are 5G things that we're going to have to solve in order for us to continue and make progress. However, at the same time, I couldn't be more delightful to be part of this industry better than this time. So appreciate the opportunity talking to you today, and thank you for having me.